Welcome to the floor care demonstration video. This video provides you with a visual example of best practices for scrubbing and recoating vinyl flooring. Take a moment to familiarize yourself with the learning goals for this video. Some important things to remember when preparing to scrub and recoat a floor are: consult with your supervisor of facility services to help assess the needs of the floor to determine whether a scrub and recoat is needed or if stripping is required. At this point, it's imperative to check the Asbestos Management Program binder to find out if the floor contains asbestos. If it does, you will follow the direction of the supervisor of facility services in consultation with the assistant manager of caretaking. Communicating with principals, school staff, and any other individuals or groups in advance that may be affected by the project to ensure the area is ready for caretaking staff is essential. This may include having desks and filing cabinets emptied before removal and to verify any potential room changes. Post a checklist of completed duties per room for communication between caretakers. Review the MSDS binder for the products that will be used. Review the supporting resources on the BWW, which will be listed following this video demonstration. The following is a list of supplies and equipment needed to properly perform this task. When you're ready to begin, your first step should be to draw a map of the room layout so you remember how to reset the classroom with furniture. The chalkboard or whiteboard, if available, is a great tool. At this point, the furniture in the classroom should be removed. As you start to prepare the room, ensure the floor is properly swept and any gum or sticky substances have been removed. Whenever possible, close the blinds and use the artificial lighting in the room. This will prevent the sun from affecting drying times when you get to the application step in the process. For safety reasons, set up a wet floor sign immediately outside the door entrance or entrances. Lay rags down along the doorway or along the edge of the carpeting so water doesn't leak into these areas during the cleaning process. Where extra pieces of carpet are available, consider laying carpet down on the other side of the rags as a place to wipe feet when entering or exiting the room. Visually divide the room into 4 sections. Start in one quadrant, usually the one in the farthest corner from the door. Lay down the water and be careful not to apply too much around fixed cabinets, as water can get under these areas and seep out onto the other areas of the floor or the freshly applied wax. Using the rotary machine, start scrubbing in a horizontal pattern and then scrub the same area vertically. Always be aware of the power cord. If necessary, stop and readjust the cord so that it does not get run over. If there's a second caretaker assisting, one caretaker can scrub the floor while the other uses a doodlebug to scrub the baseboards and edges of the floor. Once the first quadrant has been scrubbed, use a wet vacuum to pick up the water before it has a chance to dry. Rinse the section using cool water with a clean cotton mop. Don't forget to wipe down the baseboards too. It is recommended that the mop water be changed for each section between each rinse. After rinsing, the section is completed and you are ready to move to the next quadrant of the room to start the same scrubbing process again. Once you have completed this process in all 4 sections of the room, follow with a cool water rinse to the entire room. Double check to see if a second rinse is required. Do this by using the back of your hand to wipe the floor to feel for residue. If there's residue, rinse again. It is important to allow sufficient drying time before applying the wax. Now that the room has been adequately cleaned and prepared, you are ready to start the wax application. Prior to using any chemical products, it is important that you review the material safety data sheets for the products being used to ensure the proper personal protective equipment is being worn and necessary precautions are being taken. Pour the wax into the mop bucket. Begin applying the wax at the furthest corner of the room and work backwards toward the exit. Be sure to wipe the doorway threshold if you've waxed beyond the desired area. Make sure the wax is always applied 6 inches or half a tile away from the wall and baseboard. Some caretakers prefer to use an applicator tool around the edge of the room for better accuracy. Be sure to allow sufficient drying time before applying a second coat of wax. There are many factors that may affect drying times, including air movement and humidity. Therefore, it's imperative to touch the floor with your hand to make sure it's no longer tacky prior to applying a second coat of wax. It's best practice to post a wet wax sign on the door, especially if you're leaving the area so that no one walks on the freshly waxed floor. Once the second coat of wax has been applied and the task is completed, it is important that you properly clean and store the equipment that was used. Once the second coat is dry, remove all wet floor signage. If time allows, leave the wax to fully dry for 24 hours. Check to ensure the glides on all the desks and chairs are clean and in good condition before moving furniture back into the room. As well, make sure the style of glides on the furniture are appropriate for the floor type. Congratulations! You have finished your project. This is what a floor should look like when properly scrubbed and recoated. Stand back and take pride in a job well done. Please take time to review the resources listed to support safe work practices.